Welcome to the White Bear.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
Hello, sir.
James, my man.
How are you?
I'm pretty good on this fine morning.
Yeah, this glorious morning. We got good weather over here on the East Coast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It got cold right here.
What?
It got very cold overnight here.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind though, it's been too hot.
Oh my God, you freaking Nordic beast.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What's popping?
Well, there was that incident that occurred at Ohio Northern University, the old stomping grounds.
Yeah, the old stomping grounds, that piece of shit. Just kidding.
So,
No,
for
no.
those who don't know, which would be anybody who doesn't go to ONU listening to this, they were putting up there. It was the statue base, right?
Yeah, the statue base.
Yeah. Okay. So Martin Luther King Jr. gave a speech at Ohio Northern, however many years ago, and they're very, very proud of that. Very proud,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like
Yeah,
they bring it all
absolutely.
the fucking time, like some type of a liberal bastion or something. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so they were putting a statue up, which is cool, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
50th
a cool thing.
anniversary. Yeah, pretty dope.
And the base was in place already, and apparently somebody carved a swastika into it.
Yes. Yeah.
So James, as a black man that wandered that campus for 4 years, how does that make you feel?
Well, I just want to go like, so Martin Luther King spoke at ONU, as you said. Not only did he speak at ONU, he spoke at ONU in like January or February of 1968. I don't know if you guys know, but he died in 1968. So like it was one of the last speeches he did for university, so that's why it's held in such high regard at ONU. And as a person that was involved with the multicultural department and with the Student African American Brotherhood and whatnot, it's a proud thing, especially at a school like ONU. Not I shouldn't say it like that, but like just for context, ONU is a mostly white small college in middle of nowhere, Ohio. Not middle of nowhere, Lima Finley area, if you guys are familiar.
Kind
But
of in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, kind of the middle of nowhere. But so it's something like to be proud of, especially as a young African American male on that campus. And it's just overall disappointing, I would say. Uh, I don't know what type of, for lack of a better word, coward would do something like that. Uh, I don't know. It's just a lot of things just come to my head with regards to that. So as
Right. Like, what even possesses somebody to do that?
right, right, yeah. So like for me, I think like not that I felt like the black population had like a smaller voice on campus, but that kind of is true. So I would hope that if there are some good white individuals who know what went on with this or like know who did it would stand up, because I forget who says the quote, but oh fuck, I forget the quote. God damn it. You gotta cut this out.
Is it the? I think I know where you're going with it. I don't know who said the quote either.
Yeah, let me look it up. Where's our lookup guy?
If we still don't have, I don't know
Oh,
what the fuck Dino's doing.
it's a Martin Luther King quote, so it's very
Ah, there we go.
very appropriate. It's injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So like I would hope that someone would stand up, because let's be real, you know, people rioted when they were going to take down the statue of Robert E. Lee. So that was
because that person was probably mad about Confederate statues getting taken down and vandalized.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so yeah, I just hope someone would stand up and say something, and not let that shit fly, because
there's a go on.
Oh yeah, not let it fly, because me personally, my opinions on it, if you say it was like Dino that did it, and or Dino and Donnie chiseled the swastika into the base of the statue, and you're friends with them, right? And like you're also friends with me, I would hope that you'd have enough respect for me and like me as a human being to say, hey, that's wrong. Hope you have enough of a moral compass.
Right.
But right. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it.
There's another quote too. I don't remember who said this one. That's kind of along the same lines. It was like related to World War II.
Mm-hmm.
It was something along the lines of like, just from like the point of view of like a regular German citizen or something. And it was just something along the lines like, first they came for the communists and I said nothing or something. Then they came for the something else and I said nothing. Then they came for the Jews and I said nothing. Then they came for me and there's no one left to help me.
Right. Yeah. I'm familiar with that quote.
But yeah, so that's actually too getting off topic, kind of, not really, but that's interesting. The way that you put that, talking about it being important, because in my intro there I was mocking it a little bit, but I wasn't thinking about it from the perspective of the African Americans on campus, how that would be a point of pride. I was more thinking about how ONU kind of pushes that onto like all the white people visiting on campus. You know what I mean? Like they bring it up every chance they get.
Oh yeah. I mean, because they want to make it seem as diverse as possible. I mean,
right.
the saying or the motto of the university is in Latin, but it's strength through diversity or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or strength through diversity. So like, yeah, I mean, and it's not the most diverse place. I think like, God, black males on campus are only like 2% or something like that. Something ridiculously low. I don't know if it's that low, but
I mean, I could believe it, like, because I see all the black males on campus all the time, right? Because
exactly.
They're like all on the football or basketball or track teams, pretty much, for the most part.
Exactly. So, yeah, and like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I can't think of any other word but disappointing, because, I mean, I met good people there, good people who hadn't had as much interaction with African Americans, that were open and like pretty like not closed-minded, but I did meet some people that were at the same time, but but that's everywhere. So, but for the most part, well received, but
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
So where do we think the university goes from there? Like, what will the response be?
I think
talking about like whoever gets caught, because obviously they'll get charged and kicked out off school, I'm sure. But
I mean, they're going ahead with the statue dedication or whatever,
mm-hmm.
which I think is still cool. I wish I was there for that, but I really don't know. There's clearly some issues, to say the least, that need to be like worked out.
How many Photoshop pictures are they going to need to put up on the website to make up for this?
So many, so many. Great. Yeah.
I can't even believe that happened. That was one of the funniest fucking things. Like, who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, that's wild.
Now, I suppose we should explain to the listeners. So a few years ago, I don't even remember how long ago it was at this point, but there's basically just like a picture of like graduation or something, right? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Or something. So. And the picture they snapped was a good picture. Everybody's smiling and happy and stuff, but it was all white people, and they like photoshopped a random black student in the picture.
Yeah.
On the website for some reason.
Fake it till you make it. I will say, like, I don't know. I don't place any, like, not for the picture, but the statue thing. The university in the last couple of years has, even like from like, say, like sophomore year to like junior and senior year, like from freshman, sophomore year to junior and senior year, they did step it up in terms of, maybe it's just that like I got more involved. So like from my perspective, they stepped it up, but it seemed like it was stepped up in terms of, inclusion and, especially with like
Yeah, I feel you.
B2B starting up. It was kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
felt like they were trying to make progress toward, inclusion and more diversity and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it doesn't seem unlikely that they could have like pushed their game up, right? Because like by our junior and senior year was about the time when it started becoming like, I don't know, Fox News' favorite talking point to look at like crazy people with blue hair screaming on campuses and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, there was like an uptick in social justice or however you want to frame that.
Yeah. And
for better or worse, whatever you think about that, I suppose.
Yeah. And no, it was like good stuff that kind of went on the last couple of years. And shout out to Miss Gurley, who is Todd Gurley's cousin, who's the head of.
Runs the football just as well as he does.
Yeah, absolutely. She's the head of multicultural development at ONU, and she's a good lady. So if you're black and at ONU, talk to her. That's all I got.
Yeah, I actually do like some of the stuff that we did have going on at ONU, and I mean, I wasn't like involved in very much of it, like I did Brother to Brother, just because you guys started it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the things are like, so I like the way that they are set up and operate, and I think, I mean, maybe that's just a result of it being such a like conservative campus, so you can't be like as aggressive at maybe like some other far more liberal universities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even some of the things at the School of Mines here, it's just like aggressive flyers, like about you know what I mean? Like I almost feel accosted sometimes, like reading things like just.
Yeah.
But like brother to brother's cool. Like we go meet and we talk about shit like you and me are right now.
Right.
And like things like that seem like useful and educational. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's a point that like a lot of a characteristic that's not like attributed to a lot of liberals, is that they're pretty fucking aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Like I can't, and I don't want to like jump the gun here or like get too far, like make too many accusations, but like it's the most, how do I put this without offending anybody, or I don't care. It's the most like non-accepting acceptance. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when you get to the further ends of it, or with like younger people who have more energy to be like aggressive like that,
right?
And to want to make change, like they just get like right. You're missing the forest for the trees kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you can't say that, or like you can't say that because it offended me. But like I let you say what you want to say, so like just let. Yeah,
that's the weirdest part. The whole.
It's like it takes a certain level, like tolerance. It takes a certain amount of intolerance, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like an intolerance to say like hate speech as an extreme example. Or something like that, you know.
Yeah, I don't even know what I think of it all. Yeah, like just so strange. And then too, what Actually, so what makes me kind of like just annoyed a lot of the time, like as a white man,
Hmm.
like when I see white people like overextending themselves into this to the point where it's like fake and contrived, and like I don't know if like I just don't get it. Like if they're maybe it's not fake, I don't know, but do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it just feels so like how can you be this into people's identity but have no concern for your own identity if that's your line of thinking? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And like obviously white people have more like advantages or privileges or whatever you want to call it, but that doesn't mean you should like curtail over and like not have any of your own self interest in mind.
yeah. No, no, I agree with that. I think it's absurd to a certain degree to expect that from, like, completely expect that from, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just strange. Maybe I didn't word that well.
No, I got what you were saying
Everybody listening probably thinks I'm a fucking Nazi. It was me. I carved the statue base.
though. No, I mean,
Chat gonna find this fucking audio.
right? Yeah. Uh, I just feel like you shouldn't have to give up. Like, it shouldn't take you giving up your identity for me to feel,
Yeah,
for
it's
me for me to feel like
it just
I matter or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, it feels hollow sometimes.
Hmm. But to the ONU cowards who carved the swastika into the granite base of the Martin Luther King statue, uh, I want you to walk into the football locker room right after spring ball practice and say that you did it. I don't condone violence. I just would like you to have a nice discussion with the African American males in the locker room.
I'm sure that would go well.
Yeah. Just a nice discussion. Yeah. A little dialogue. But
What do you think? What do you think about violence as a solution to things in general?
I think it's effective for the winner.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Sometimes
it doesn't
it can also
solve.
cause problems.
Yeah, it doesn't really solve things in the long run, but as a short-term solution for the winner, I mean, it does. It does what it's meant to do. That doesn't make it right, but
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a lot of people are on the violence is not the answer train, and that's probably true for the most part. But
oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
sometimes it is, except only when the person enacting the violence can be trusted to have that judgment. Which how do you define that?
Exactly. I think there has to be a easy easy to see dichotomy or between good and bad, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like the rules got to be no violence, except
Yeah,
sometimes you break the rules.
yeah. Which I think that's basically how the world works.
Yeah,
No violence unless necessary, but it's always necessary.
yeah, a bunch of dumb, angry monkeys just
Mm-hmm.
fighting each other and throwing poop.
Yeah, I mean that's all we are.
Yeah, it's humbling. Humble yourself. You're a fucking chimpanzee.
Yeah, I think I saw. I don't know if this is true or not. You're more into science than I am, but I think we have more in common with chimpanzees than mice do to rats. So
I have seen that before, and I'm pretty sure that's true.
yeah, so so humble yourselves, motherfuckers.
Except not the strength, unfortunately.
No,
That'd
that
be
would be
nice.
dope though. Yeah, be Planet of the Apes at that point, as I
Yep,
think
pretty
we had
much.
referenced that in the last episode. But yeah, let's move on. Like while we're on
Yeah,
the white supremacist train,
choo choo.
um, I mean you've been on the white supremacist train for a while. So.
Fuck off.
Nazis and the KKK. We're pretty sure they hate each other, right?
Yeah, I think so. I was looking into it. I couldn't find like a good source, but like I found enough, just like random Reddit things and stuff. I was like, okay, I think this is true.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, go on.
Oh yeah. So from what I know, the KKK is a very patriotic white Protestant, old-fashioned racist type group, and Nazis are socialists and racist, but
like authoritarian socialists.
Yeah, so I don't think
white supremacists.
Yeah, so like I don't think like Nazis. I don't think there's any constraints on religion. Are there? Do you know? Like a Catholic and Protestant.
I think most of them were Catholic. I want to say because I know the Catholic Church was like heavily aligned with them, obviously because of Italy and Mussolini and stuff.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, so like I know the KKK is pretty strict on like they don't even like Catholics. So like if it really came down to it, you know.
Yeah, so it was actually interesting. Some of the stuff I was reading last night, from what I could glean, was that the Nazis like hard tried to seduce the KKK in the United States with, I guess, correspondence. I don't know how that works. Mm-hmm. They're dropping pamphlets off over in the South. I don't know, but and that pissed the KKK off because they're like, no, fuck these guys. They're the Germans. You're the fucking enemy. You're ruining the world, which is weird. But then there's actually a ton of pressure from the KKK and people who sympathize with the KKK to enter World War II, actually, to the federal government. So that's strange and complicated in and of itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is just weird, because how can you... it just doesn't make sense.
It's easy to think of these groups as all the same, but like they're not. They have all kinds of different agendas, just like a lot of the groups in the Middle East today, right?
Right. And especially with, it's just so hard. And like, just wrapping your head around, like, because when you see it, like, you're like, oh, white supremacist is a white supremacist. Which, broken down to the most simplistic levels, yes. But, like, to a certain degree, they don't even like each other, which is fucked up.
Yeah, and then what's really weird, too, so, like, someone in Northwest Ohio who, whatever, I mean, this is a simplistic way of putting it, but, like, whatever racial prejudices this person that carved in the statue has, were very clearly so much more would have came from the KKK and the legacy of all those people than it would have from Nazism. But they choose to carve a swastika. And it's just kind of this thing where, like, there's not really any real KKK or Nazis anymore, but the legacy of those organizations manifest themselves still by people who, on a base level, think the same way and are white supremacists. Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
sense. It's like a weird hybrid. It's its own thing because it's not organized like they were, but...
Right. And with that, I think comes this movement of, like, I don't know, like the Spencers of the world, and
yeah, definitely.
And like, and I don't know. I don't even know if he knows what he thinks, honestly. But for the kid at like ONU who carved a swastika into the base of the statue, it's like, for me, it comes off as a little bit ignorant, and like ignorance on their part. Like, I don't know if this is gonna sound right, but like it seems like not that they didn't put any effort into it, but like, right. It's like they're like, oh, like you looked up the most offensive symbol you could carve into a, like, you don't even, like, I'm sure that person doesn't even, I'm not sure they don't know, but they probably don't even know like the history behind the Nazi Party.
Yeah, probably not. And for all we know, I mean, it could have just been like some stupid 19-year-old kid that's not even like racist in a sense. Like it could have just been somebody trying to be a troll, right? For some reason, they thought that was funny.
Yeah, which is like my initial thoughts, because and we knew stupid people like that there. And like,
we weren't a part of them, but
no,
at least not that kind of stupid.
No, not the. We're a totally different type of stupid, Zach. You want to give the background story on that?
So, yeah, you know what? Why not? We're running out of topics on our document, so we can tell this story. All right, so it was March 2015, I believe. Yes.
16, right?
No, as we graduated in 16.
Oh, yeah. 15, junior year. Easter break.
Yep, Easter break. I'm hanging out. My parents live in Texas. You know, I ain't got nowhere to go. James decided he wants to stay on campus, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So does our friend Clayton Billy.
Yep.
And so we're hanging out. March Madness is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky hadn't lost a game all year. Frank fucking Kaminsky wilds out, the big doofy fucker that he is. Wisconsin knocks him off, so we get pretty hype. You know, we've been drinking at this.
Shout out to Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah, fuck you, Frank. It's your fault. I hope he hears this someday.
Yeah. It is his fault, though. Like, we weren't hype until they knocked them off.
That's true. We were pretty calm for the most part.
Yeah.
And then, since there's nobody on campus, we were bored. We pretty much decided to go exploring, right? Right. We were adventuring.
Yeah, no malicious intent or anything like that. Just to put that out there.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
Mm-mm.
So first we're in the freshman dorms because Clay's an RA, right?
Right.
So then we walk up to the top floor where the door's locked because we want to see what's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Things get a little out of hand, and a doorknob gets busted off of a door so we can open it. Not malicious, though.
Not malicious at all.
It was necessary. Yeah, so then we walk around up there a little bit. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Unbeknownst to us, somebody stuck their foot through the ceiling tiles, leaving a trail of destruction that would later get us caught. But, yeah, so then we left there. And then you want to take the story from here?
Yeah, so on ONU's campus, there's this thing called Frat Circle. There are these two massive frat houses, which are now not occupied by anyone because they were kicked off from off-campus housing almost a decade ago. We'll just round up a couple of years. But, so yeah, we're like, well, no one lives in these houses. They're pretty much abandoned, so why don't we go in there and see what's in there? I heard they're haunted. That is a rumor swirling around campus. So we enter the first building through an already broken window. And we walk around. The house is pretty trash because it had been empty for quite some time. So people had clearly been in there before, ransacked the place before we ever even went in there. Spray paint on the walls, whatnot, all that stuff. So we leave there. We come out of the house, we're walking. Security passes us. We don't think anything of it because we were already out. There's nothing to implicate us of being in the first frat house. And then there's another abandoned frat house right next door. And we decide to try to get into that one and see what was up in there. And little did we know, campus security had called data police. And they pretty much pull a whole SWAT move, flanked us. I didn't run. Clay didn't run. But Zach got away. Zach took off, almost got killed by a train.
It was a good escape. So yeah, they do this SWAT thing and flank us. Clay gets grabbed immediately.
Yeah.
It's just happened to be where we were standing or whatever.
Yep.
James is black, so the other officers went after him immediately.
Yep.
And so I just kind of ran and jumped through a bush, like a big hedge that was gave me enough space to put some space in between me and the police.
Right.
And we got a big campus, so I'm running, ducking, weaving. There's not much exciting there, just me crawling around and going between bushes and trees and stuff, slowly making my way across campus. And then I get to the main road by the rec center, and there's a train track that's running parallel to the road.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've made it at that point because that's like way on the edge of campus, and there's like a drainage ditch that I can like crawl through and go around to the football stadium and then back to the dorms behind, like without passing any roads or anything.
Right.
And then these motherfuckers are just sitting there in their car with the headlights, like watching down this other drainage ditch that's perpendicular to the one I was crawling through. So they would have seen me if I went across,
Right.
and I had to get across. I think they were just talking to James and Clay still, but you know, in my head I was like, "Fuck, these guys are trying to get me."
Yeah.
I hear this fucking train coming, and I'm like, "That's it. That's what I'm gonna do." So I go sprinting across the train tracks, and like jump over and just like run up past the train, like drunk, like while it's moving. I'm not like 4 feet away from it, like just like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But
you made it though.
All's in well. I made it back home. Not like 20 minutes after my ordeal was finally done and I was there, James and Clay come walking back through the door because the police let me go.
Yeah, so we got detained, I'll say. And we wrote statements, and we eventually went to court later on, and blah, blah, blah. It's besides the point. We got off, so it wasn't really a big deal.
We made it.
We made it, yeah.
We decided to do some community service at the local park.
Yeah, which was actually fun.
The boys were born.
Yeah, they gave us free range with these John Deere Gators, and Gator Boys was born from that moment. We should have YouTubed this whole thing.
That would have been great. Yeah.
That's good content right there. Now we know, but...
Yeah. We'll just have to break it again at another date.
Yeah.
We'll go for like 10th anniversary or something.
Yeah. It was Founders Day the other day. We should have fucking broke in. Should have. But
I don't remember Founders Day being that big of a deal when we were going to school there, but it seems like they're really pushing it hard this year.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Feel out of the loop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good time. We paid a shit ton of money to the university, and
yeah, that was the shitty part. We got literally extorted. That was stupid.
Extorted out of it was fucking ridiculous. But
so like we got in a hard situation because this web of lies got weaved when we were kind of dealing with the disciplinary sorting it out and stuff. And so basically, when you get in trouble, you get a hold put on your account while they're trying to decide what to do with you. If there's a hold on your account, you can't schedule classes.
Yep.
So basically, what we were told by the disciplinary guy was, he was, blah, 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 I don't know what to believe, blah, 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 blah. I don't think you guys did it. Or, like, as in vandalize the whole frat house, which is what they're trying to make us pay for.
Oh, yeah, wait. As I mentioned earlier that the frat houses have been ransacked before, they tried to charge us with all the 10 years worth of damage that had accumulated in those frat houses. Absurd. Yeah.
There was
like 15 grand or something. Crazy.
Yeah. There was a professor or something on campus or an employee, I don't know, who was for some reason, he was probably a fucking nerd when he was going to school here. And he joined this stupid frat, and him and his friends fucking date raped some people or whatever. And it finally all caught up to him, and their frat got kicked off campus.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, he's still, to this day, a big donor to it or something stupid. So he was really mad about it, and he was guaranteeing to the university that he's seen it, and it was not trash like that before, and blah, blah, blah. And basically, we were given the option of, by Chad Shepard, like, well, either you can take this quote-unquote deal, which was like $1,000 each.
Yeah, like $1,500, I think.
Or you can keep the hold on your account, and then this guy's going to take you to court, and you have to try to win in court. And so it was like, get it all done now, and don't have to worry about the hold on our accounts and schedule our classes and shit.
Yeah.
Or fight the other guy in court, which we have no idea like how that would go or work.
Right.
And again, James is black, so I don't like those odds for us.
Yeah. Not in Northwest Ohio, at least.
God.
Also, like, a part of those charges, by the way, this is how you know we got extorted. That doorknob we said we broke earlier to open the door to the attic of the freshman dorms. They charged us $800
For the doorknob?
Yeah, for that door.
I don't remember that. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
They're always doing that shit, dude. When we moved out of UT in our like tiny empty 10 by 12 bedrooms or whatever, all completely empty, they charged us $125 each for 4-bedroom cleaning.
That's ridiculous.
For like a total floor space of like 500 square feet in empty rooms.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything to clean. Like, I don't even know what they did.
It's wild. The stuff universities get away with.
And then I tried to track them down. I was like, what is this? This is absurd. And I told that to Residence Life, and Residence Life sent me to P-Plant, and P-Plant's like, whoa, you know, we get the quotes from other people. And so I'm like, well, I need to see who you got this quote from, because that's ridiculous. And then, you know, I just got jerked around in a circle. But it's all good, because I got away with that one. I didn't have to pay any of that money.
Oh, that's good.
I spent like 3 different meetings arguing with Justin Courtney about it. And then, like, again, I needed to schedule classes, and I was still trying to argue with him about it because I don't want to pay all that money.
Yeah.
So I went to the registrar and told him, like, hey, like, I'm still arguing about this, and showed him the emails, and they just took the hold off my account.
Oh, that's dope.
Just got lost in like limbo somehow, and I never had to pay anything.
They're gonna send a fucking bill to your mom or some shit.
Oh, they can fuck right off. They're not getting a fucking penny of it.
You already got your degree. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, suck my dick on you.
Yeah.
I have such a love-hate relationship with that place.
Yeah, no, me too.
Love mostly everything. Hate pretty much everything about the administration. Yeah,
the administration was trash. Besides Daniel DiBiasio, because he didn't expel us, so that was dope.
Yeah, he said congratulations when we beat John Carroll that one time. Were you there for that? Or is that just me? Yeah, it was like you, me, and Dina, right? Just walking down the street. That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
He cares about his students.
Oh, absolutely. Not. I mean, absolutely. But, yeah, what was I going to say? Shit, I had something. Fuck it. So what's the last point you had here?
I don't know. I was drunk last night. I'm not quite sure what I meant by that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's just typing stuff out in the document. Let me read it, see if I can come up with something. Oh, I think I just meant, like, it's weird, like the reaction, the taboo reaction that like Nazism gets, but communism doesn't get the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're both clearly not good.
No, I agree with that. That's pretty straightforward. Like, and I think sometimes people don't get the difference, but like, I mean, communism has kind of fell to the wayside since the Cold War. I think it's not really, and like since we do so much business with China and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of just getting like collapsed in on itself or something.
Yeah, but like communism isn't good, people. Like,
it's weird though. You find like people in America, like it's just weird. It's like it's just as weird as people in America who like identify as a neo-Nazi, you know?
Yeah, it's totally. It's like
where did you learn this?
Yeah, it's like the most un-American / un-American thing ever. I mean, you can't be both. That's the thing that frustrates me. It's like, oh, I'm a Nazi, but God bless America. No, it's not. It doesn't work like that.
I don't think you're giving the Nazis enough credit for their patriotism, James.
Oh my god, these motherfucking idiots. Makes absolute.
It's weird how speaking of like the people we were talking about earlier, they're just like aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like how often the word Nazi gets like thrown around.
Oh yeah, no.
Like taking its teeth away from it.
Yeah. It's too
with like the like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and whatnot, like kind of Probably. I mean, I don't. How the fuck can I know this for sure? But it definitely seems like they all try to like demonetize like more conservative content and stuff a lot more than more
Oh
liberal
yeah,
content.
oh yeah, for sure.
It's like kind of weird, you know. Makes
It's
me wondering what direction that's gonna go.
it's I don't know. It might have a lot to do with just because there's a pushback from like conservatives and like far right conservatives right now,
Yeah,
and like I think they're trying to combat that a little bit because
and I definitely
Trump's
too.
in
The
office.
probably part of it. I have to imagine that a lot of their like censor systems, since right there's like 3 hours of video gets put up on YouTube every minute or something
Yeah,
absurd. So I would guess a lot of it is probably predicated on like people filing complaints,
yeah.
things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I'm sure. Yeah,
I'm sure there's probably way more. First of all, there's more liberal people on the internet, and second of all, like we were talking about, the aggressiveness that seems to be prevalent would
right.
probably lead to a higher percentage of those people leaving comments as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it
Yeah.
gets worked out. I don't want to live in like that episode of Black Mirror where everybody's running on a treadmill and everything's fake.
Oh my god, that would be awful. When
It's
they're
like,
like cycling for energy.
yeah,
That's oh god, that scares the shit out of me. Like more than
right?
the other shit. Like it's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, dude. Like, technology's getting pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I was talking about I said this to Rachel the other day, like, and I think Elon Musk suggested putting a cap, not a cap, but regulating AI and whatnot. And like in terms of like, this is kind of off topic, but it made me think of it. But in terms of robotics, I think there should be not regulations, but for our own sake, like I don't want to even say cap robotics in manufacturing and AI in manufacturing, just because, like, from a jobs aspect, and our economy relies so heavily on the blue collar population, which is the majority of the population working and having money in circulation. That I don't know. There has to be something that says that we can't put everyone out of work, but I
Yeah,
suggested that since we're kicking out all the Mexicans, we can just have everybody pick strawberries.
I think actually, I think like an emergent thing from that will probably be just like random trades kind of making a comeback, right?
Yeah,
Because like things that require abstraction, a robot's not going to be able to do.
right.
Yeah, with AI, I mean, you can't really stop it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the thing.
We need because like right now we got definitely us, Russia, and China, and probably other places like really competing to like get all of our AI and stuff better, faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know what would happen, but you don't want like one of those countries to quote unquote win, right? So I almost think there needs to be like some type of a UN sanction type AI division or something. Like I don't know what it would look like or how it would manifest itself, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
I need some skin in the game.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, my bad. This phone's
that's
fucked.
okay. Got out a lot more smoothly that time than it did the last time, so we probably didn't even need to edit.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but wait, what were you saying? I kind of caught the tail end of it.
The last thing I said was just how I think we almost need like some type of a UN sanctioned artificial intelligence something, just so everybody has their skin in the game.
Oh yeah,
So I don't think that's something we want everybody like competing against each other in a traditional manner for.
right. Yeah, that's how like Terminator happens.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess in some ways you kind of already have that a little bit because it looks like it's going to be a company like Facebook or YouTube or whoever that really gets there first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the glories of capitalism, but Uh, no, I agree with the UN thing, and I think, God damn it, I had a point. Fuck.
You need to be on your A game, James.
Yeah, no, I'm like all off today. Yeah, fucking yeah, yeah, yep.
All right.
Yeah, but whatever I was
So
gonna say, it was AI is I think it has so many positives that it's not gonna like it's not like gonna be a thing that we're just gonna stop doing just because. But like we've all seen Ultron, Age of Ultron, and
yeah,
we don't want that. But I mean, AI will save lives and it'll make things safer for us. So I think it's a path we should continue on, but um, some sort of regulation. I don't know.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting,
Yeah.
especially when you think about, man, just like
Excuse me.
in our lives, like how much changed when we were like real little, and
Mm-hmm.
from 1997 to 2007, and then from 2007 to now, right?
Right.
I guess 8. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2008 now. But yeah, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
crazy.
100%.
That.
And like even like thinking about like Alexa and Google Home and iHome, like that's not real AI, but like it's still enough to freak people out, which is great.
Yeah, and it's just like the amount of shit that's just tracking you at all times.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah.
That's what, dude. Do you think I am of the opinion that this whole Facebook thing right now is just ridiculous that they're getting singled out? Like
Oh, I
people
know.
have been selling their fucking information to Kohl's for a discount for 20 fucking years. Like it's not just
Absolutely.
Facebook. You guys are doing this to yourselves. Like
You're right. And like my last job, I worked in a sales role, and we had a information like disclosure form that stated that we would sell their information to advertisers.
right.
And like if you wanted to do business with us, you had to sign that form.
It's wild, dude. Like
Yeah.
what do people need all this data for?
Yeah.
That is the comforting thing to me, that there is so much out there that it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Oh yeah. It absolutely is. There's
Like
so much data.
like you would have to do something that somebody would specifically really want to come after you for it to really matter that all your shit's out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
And
crazy.
last there was a super evil AI, and then it just murdered everybody all at once because it knew where they all were because we're all addicted to our shit.
Yeah. Kind of like the what is it? The Matrix. They put everybody in human farms.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna be growing us in 20 years, people. Fucking machines.
Wild. That whole thing too. Like, did you see some of the questions like congressmen were fucking asking Mark Zuckerberg? That was hilarious.
I really haven't been paying attention to it.
This dude is just so silly. Like, it's a bunch of fucking old people asking about the internet. It's just dumb.
Yeah, all I saw was like he was like, "Yeah, I couldn't even if I wanted to, I couldn't hire enough people to review all content that goes through Facebook." And I was like, "Yeah, no shit. I did not get that." Like,
Yeah, that was funny too. Like the hearing was supposed to be about like the data and how they've been irresponsible with it or whatever, and yada yada
mm-hmm.
yada. And fucking Ted Cruz just goes on like a fucking diatribe about him censoring conservative content that had like nothing to do with the rest of the fucking thing. And I know we were just talking about that, but it was just funny and stupid. Like, come on, Ted.
Yeah, I mean, they're all like guys, and um, have you seen the thing like that about Trump being jealous of Jeff Bezos or whatever?
No.
Oh yeah, some like White House aide said something like that, or someone close to the Republican Party said something along the lines of that. But like, it's like all these old white guys, they see this 33-year-old billionaire fucking controlling all of their content and like controlling a shit ton of information, and they just don't get it. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. The fucking Zuckerberg memes were pretty funny too, because he's just he's like a fucking ghoul, man. Like, he doesn't interact like a normal human.
I know. It like I saw one that was like him taking a sip of water.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
yes, sip water. Human sip water.
It's like, who the fuck drinks like that?
Yeah. So people like that. That's why I hate like, and this is way off topic, like, but recently Bill Gates was on Ellen, and then like the Zuckerberg stuff. But I was watching some YouTube video, and they're talking about LeVar Ball. This is like way off, but like they're like, oh, how's he a bad father? They're sticking up for him, saying, how is he a bad father? He and they were talking about how people say, oh, he made his kids drop out of school. And then to defend LeVar Ball, they're like, oh, but Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates dropped out of school. It's like, yeah, those motherfuckers dropped out of Harvard. Like, they didn't drop right before they were going to graduate. Like, it's not like, oh, God. They're like, they're a different species.
One of these things is not the same.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, like, I hate when people, and like, don't get me wrong, there are entrepreneurs who are not fit for school, but those guys could have finished school if they wanted to.
Yeah. And I do say, I hate, actually, kind of speaking of random billionaires that give weird advice and do weird things. I love Elon Musk, but the one thing that always bothers me, he's always saying, like, no, just get your bachelor's. Just get your bachelor's. It's like, no, there's all kinds of functions that, like, masters and PhDs need to be doing that bachelors can't.
Yeah.
What you mean is, if you want to be an entrepreneur and or work for a company like SpaceX, just get your bachelor's.
Yes.
That's what you mean. Not
I'm also like,
not be a fucking Iron Man in real life.
Yeah.
Elon, you dick, you know nobody else can do that.
Exactly. And like just like the whole college thing in general. Like, I hear a bunch of entrepreneurs saying like, oh, college is a waste of time. Like, I don't know.
Did you waste your time there?
No, I did not.
Like, well, that's what. No, I mean, I'm like, them? As if I'm talking to one of them. Like, then if you wasted your time, it was probably a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a waste of time.
No, it's not.
Unless you're doing something stupid like art. Just kidding.
Shout out to Hannah who designed our logo.
Hey.
And her wasted time graphic design degree. No, she doesn't charge me, so it's fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
She'd probably charge me.
Probably. No, like, college is very much you get in what you fucking, or you take what you put in, or like, you know what I'm trying to say. I can't fucking speak today, but
James has trouble with words sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on today. I hope this episode turns out all right. But
yeah, hopefully. My phone hasn't done the weird buzzing thing once, so hopefully that doesn't show up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you get what you put in, and that's out of anything in life. So, like, there are people that, I mean, they're the tryhards, and they're the people who don't give a fuck, and they're not going to get anything out of it. So,
and then there's the tryhards who don't give a fuck, and that's the sweet spot you want to be in.
Exactly.
Because you're just memorizing shit to pass a test. You're not doing a good job.
Yeah, but like, I'm sure there are things I'll learn, like, that I've learned in my bachelor's program and in my future master's program, that will help us grow the white bear. So I'm not mad at it. Yeah.
Exactly. When you get your engineering degree, you basically learn how to do everything. It's pretty much all encompassing.
Yeah, but
that's not true. Man, I can't. Some engineers, man, just speaking of people who can't interact right with other people.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird. It blows my mind.
Yeah, it is weird.
Especially the nasty ones. Like, you get some people get real nasty in group projects about it. I'm just like, what are you doing? Stop. Like, you're going to go to a company and you're going to do a group project every day because that's all all the engineering companies do is group projects.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to fucking hate you because you're being an asshole.
Yeah, and then you get fired if enough people complain.
Then the guy who doesn't work 3 hours overtime but goes to baseball games with the boss gets promoted, and then you're just sitting there like an asshole.
Exactly.
And then you get bitter, and then you go carve swastikas and statues or something.
The right way, though, because you're an engineer.
The right way. You use a laser etcher, so it's finely proportioned.
Yeah. That's great. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. No, we covered a lot today. Told some stories of our youth.
Yeah, it's a good one. To that motherfucker at ONU who carved a swastika into the MLK statue, again, you are invited to a spring ball practice at ONU wearing a sign that says you did it. Yep. So you got a personal invite from me. I probably won't be there, but
somebody will.
Yeah, someone will.
And I think I speak for all white people when I say if you're white and you're thinking about carving a swastika into a statue, just don't. Come on. Just cut it out.
Yeah, it's un-American.
You're making it hard for me. You're making it hard for everybody else. Just stop it. Don't make me ashamed of myself.
All right. White men are already under fire in this country because of the president, so try not to.
Yeah, God damn it, Trump. Yeah. Fucking dick. We don't even need to get into that. No. We'll save him for later.
I mean, we've pretty much hit racism on every episode. We'll try not to get Trump on every episode.
Yeah. Fucking tumor.
Yeah. But thanks again for listening. Again, I'm James, and you are with myself and my partner Zach, and together we form the White Bear. If you haven't yet, go check out our blog, whitebearseason.wordpress.com. Season spelled SZN, because we're cool.
This is true.
Yep. You can listen to this podcast on Anchor. Shout out to Anchor. Download the app. It's great. Got a bunch of content. You can also find it on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and comment and share, because we're going to keep doing this until we get some traction. Well,
yep, eventually some shit's going to stick to this wall.
Yeah, we're going to keep throwing freshly shit at the wall. So, got anything?
All right. No, thanks for listening. And I think we're good.
Don't you have something else to say? I know you're going to say.
Yeah, you stay classy, America.
All right, man.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.